Well, what is the best brush to use for making evergreen trees? That is what we're going to explore today. So let's just go ahead and get started. Oh, and if you don't know who I am, I'm Yovette. Welcome to my channel. Well, as you can see, I've got kind of a blue background here just to kind of give an indication of a sky. And I've got some basic colors here. I have white, black, Prussian blue, sap green, alizarin crimson, Van Dyke brown, and yellow ochre. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix all these colors together with just a little bit of white. Now for supplies, I'm going to use my number 3 fan brush. I've got a number 6 Filbert brush, and I've got a 1/2 inch flat brush. And this one's a synthetic, and the other two are bristle. And then I'm going to use a chip brush and a palette knife. So let's start out with just this flat brush. I'll try and keep my hand out of the way. So as you can see, I've just got a big pile, a big conglomeration of color here. And all I want to do is just load this brush up with paint, both sides. I want to start here, and we'll just make a bunch of trees now. So let's just start here. I'm just going to make just a little line, and like so. And then what I want to do, just using the very tip, the very corner of the brush, I am just tapping little taps. And as I come down, I leave some spaces. I'm doing this kind of slow so you can see exactly what I'm doing. And I come out a little ways on each side of the tree and flip that brush every once in a while if you get low on paint. Now I'm pushing kind of a downward, and as I come lower and lower, I incorporate more of the brush. Like so. And then when you get down to the bottom, just sort of round it out like that. And let's say our light source is coming from this way. Well, we'll just bring a little shadow over here. Okay, let's do that again. Now that was, I was pressing kind of downwards. Well, let's try one going upwards. So we'll do this, just our little trunk again. And this time, I have noticed my slant is up a little bit, touching lightly, and just giving that little upwards press. You can see the difference, definitely. Leaving spaces, unless you want a really full tree. If you want a really full tree, then just go ahead and fill it in a lot, but I like a little sparse tree. Flip it over because I'm picking up a lot of that white. And just come down and just keep filling in like so. And again, we just bring this off to the right here. Okay, so that's a flat brush, the synthetic, and it works really, really well for making trees. Now the other brush that is so popular that everyone seems to love is the fan brush. So again, using just a corner of the brush, you load your brush, both sides, load it pretty good. Again, let's do that same thing. This time we'll come over here. Let's just make a little trunk. And let's do a down tree first. Now by down, I mean I'm pressing the bristles. Let's do it down here. I'm pressing the bristles downward. This side, I was bringing them up. But now we're going to do the down. So again, just using the corner. Little taps. And as you come down, come out. I'm not sure I like this brush. This is a different brush than I usually use. See how I'm doing press, press, and outward? And see how these whoop, got my finger in it, oh well. See how they start to curve downward? Now don't make a moon, don't go like that. Keep your brush, keep your handle out. My canvas is jiggling out. Leave some spaces in here. Just like so. Very pretty. And if you find something like right here, I want to bring that out a little more, just to make the tree a little more balanced. Maybe fill that in right there. See, you stand back and look at your tree and you can tell if it's well balanced or not. Okay, load that brush again. Let's do the same thing. Let's do one here, up here. Let's start up here high. Well, there we go. A little trunk. This time we're going to go upwards. Same thing, make a few little taps at the top. And I do keep my brush quite level when I'm making these top taps. And then as I start coming down, see how I'm pressing upwards? I don't have any particular way of doing this. I just go by feel and looks, by something that I like. See how that's coming along? It's beautiful. As you get closer to the bottom, use more of your brush. Now I'm not going to be doing any highlighting on these. I just want these to be just plain for right now. We'll do highlighting on another tutorial, but this one is just the basic tree in itself. I just want you to see what effect the different brushes have. Notice how with the fan brush you get a lot of little, what do I want to say, little uppy strokes and little down strokes, whereas with a flat brush everything is pretty much like really flat. So, okay, now we got this one here. And just go ahead and we'll bring this out. A little shadow here. The next brush I'm going to use is my number 6 Filbert brush. And just again, just load that brush both sides, wiggle it sometimes. That just gets the bristles inside, that really, it fills the brush and makes it smoother. Let's go here, let's go one here. That one's going all the way to the top. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. Little taps at the top. And as I come down, I'm going outward. Now you notice this has a totally different effect than the other trees. See how all these little spiky things coming down, little needles? I love the Filbert brush for pine trees. And see, I'm pushing downward and coming out, filling in every once in a while. Like so. Yes, I like that. Let's do another one. Just loading that brush again. Let's do one, how about right here? And this time, this was going down. This was a downward pressure. This time, let's do an upward pressure. So I have my handle is out to the side. Now, if you're right-handed, you'd be doing it this way and doing this. Left-hander, this way. I know I have a lot of left-handers that watch me, and they say, oh, it is so much easier to learn from a left-hander if you are left-handed. And I agree with that, because I really struggled during my learning times when I was going through classes trying to learn how to do this right-handed and left-handed. So I'm just pressing, giving that little upward press. Flip the brush every once in a while. And use more of the brush as you get down towards the bottom. And a little bit of outward here. Okay. Let's try this one. This is a cheap chip brush. They are about, I don't know, anywhere from 75 cents to $1.50 depending on where you get them. But they're just called chip brushes. They're really inexpensive. They do shed a lot, so you have to be careful with that. But just go ahead and, let me get this out of the way here. Go ahead and just load that chip brush. Load it really well. And let's make one right here. Let's do, well, we'll try the same kind of tree, what we've been doing, just so you can see the difference. Let's come up here, touch, 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 and again, just the corner. See now how this is a really wide brush, but this could even be called like a flat brush. And as I come down, I'm pressing harder. Flipping. And bring out the bottom. This is kind of interesting. You could even make like an evergreen tree this way. Touch. Okay, when I'm down here, I'm just loading my brush. Okay, this one, let's just do upward. See how I'm doing this? This is another kind of a tree. As I come down further, I'm pressing harder. There you go, off to the side. And let's do even one more. Go ahead and load that brush again. This time we'll make something that is quite a bit different. Just go ahead and make your little line, your trunk. And with this time, what I'm going to be doing is just lightly, very lightly, giving a press. Press. And as I come down, I'm pressing harder. This side, same thing. There. Now, isn't that interesting? I think it is. You're going to have to tell me in the comment section below, tell me which one of these do you think makes the best tree? We started out with the flat brush, and then we did the fan brush, and then the Filbert brush for this one, and then these 3 different trees with just an inexpensive, cheap flat brush. I just called it chip brush. Oh, chip brush. C-H-I-P. That's a chip brush. Anyway, so that's what you do with that. See, I started these trunks here. I just put a line in, and if it's too thick, you just come down. Just fill it in where you think it's too thick. And like here, this is a pretty solid line. Just going to break that up. You might not even be able to see this. I don't know. That one I really messed up. Let's just wipe that off. That's too thick right there. So I just wiped it off. And then just go in with your brush. Touch it a little bit here. Now, if you want a really rustic look, we can try and do a palette knife tree. And for that, you grab a little roll of paint, and let's just go right in. Well, let's go over here. And go ahead and make your little trunk. I don't know how little that's going to be, but anyway. And just, you've got to keep paint on your knife for this, because it uses a lot of, a knife tree uses a lot of paint. What I'm doing is loading that tip, and what I want to do is start at the top and just start coming out. Now these are great trees. A palette knife tree is great if you have a really large painting. They work out really well, and it looks so rustic. That's what I like about it. Palette knife tree is so rustic looking. And see, I'm just making little dabs and coming outward. And I'm flipping, sometimes I'm using this side, sometimes I'm using this side. And as you get closer to the bottom, of course you want to use more of your knife, so I have more paint on here. And then I can just go into the trunk and just start coming out, and very, very lightly, just very lightly. Just coming out. I'm so light, it's just like making the mountains. It's just really, really, really a light touch. This bar is in the way. You probably can't even see the bar, but it's preventing me from doing what I want to do. Anyway, just little taps. Any place you don't like, just fill it in, just take it and make it the way you want it. Like I want more out here. Let's do maybe this side, we'll make a little more out here. Okay, let's make a little trunk. Yeah, I like that. That looks good. stand back and look at yours and see if you like the formation. If you don't like the formation, go ahead and change it. One thing I really like to do with evergreen trees is make a collage. And so to do that, go ahead and just make your little mark here, your trunk, and go ahead and start tapping. You can go up or down, whichever way you like. Let's do upward. And you can vary the colors on these too. Now I'm just using all one color for this demonstration, but if you use a variety of colors, oh man, that really makes it interesting. Okay, and then just come down, round out that bottom if you need to. Okay, we didn't bring any, let's bring that down too. We didn't have anything down there. Okay, and the thing I like to do when I say a collage, I want 3 different trees, and I want one, let's do one here, slightly slanted. So you have one straight up, one this way. Hope my hand is not in the way. I won't know until I edit this tape and or edit this video and see what I've actually got here. It surprises me sometimes. Okay, and then just bring that down. And let's do one more. I said a collage. So let's do a little one here. This one, I'm slanting inward. You always want to try to make these trees so that they're not every one is identical. And it really looks nice to make a forest where you can use all these different trees. Let's do, again, a few little taps and some upward motion. See how I'm doing this? I want you all to practice these trees. Just get some brushes. You can use any kind of a brush for this. It doesn't make any difference what it is. Yeah, there. So for you guys that are watching this video all the way through, and only you guys are going to know this, this will probably be my last video for a while. I'm doing some other things and I'm getting really involved. So I'm thinking about just, I'm just going to take a sabbatical, more or less. Again, you can just go ahead and use your knife and just go ahead and put an indication of some tree trunks in here. There. And also, one more thing that you can do to make these trees look really nice is just go ahead and tip them. Just take your knife and just right up to the top. And most of the trees have a nice, you know, little, just one little twig that sticks up. So you can do that to these trees. There. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope you learned something. I want you to try these different trees, and then in the comments below, tell me which brush you really like the best. But you have to try them first. And when you go ahead and you're practicing, practice on cardboard, practice on a paper plate, practice on a, oh, like this. It's just a piece of plastic. You can practice on anything, a notebook cover, anything. a rock, whatever it is, that's what you can use to practice on, and you will get better and better and better. I swear you will. It just takes time. Well, here's a photo of all the trees and the brushes used to paint them, and the knife, of course. And so give it a try, and have a wonderful rest of the summer. I will see you the next time I do, whenever that is. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.